up, brother?
Okay, we are live on Facebook.
Yes, sir.
Good evening and welcome. This is a regular scheduled public hearing business meeting of Valencia County Commission for April 15th, 2026. Mr. Sonnenberg, I don't see where you're at, but if you're with us, would you please lead us in the pledge? To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Okay, commissioners, have the agenda before us this evening. Any changes by fellow commissioners? Be none? Changes by staff?
No, sir.
With that said, is there a motion to approve the agenda as presented this evening?
So moved. Second.
I have a motion from Commissioner Bazell, second by Commissioner, or I'm sorry, Commissioner Berry. Sorry about that. So motion by Commissioner Berry, second by Commissioner Richardson. Any discussion on the motion of the second? Be none. Commissioner Richardson, your vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Bazell, your vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Berry, your vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Sparkman, your vote?
Yes.
I vote yes. Stands approved. Okay, we have one set of minutes from our April 1st, 2026 business meeting. Any changes to those minutes by fellow commissioners? Staff? Be none. Recommendation, please.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes as presented.
Second.
A motion from Commissioner Bazell, second by Commissioner Berry. Any discussion on the motion or the second? Be none. Commissioner Richardson, your vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Bazell, your vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Berry, your vote?
Yes.
Commissioner Sparkman, your vote?
Yes.
And I vote yes. They are approved.
Just one page. Okay. Mr. Chair, as you guys are sending that information, we do have a packed room tonight, and I can assume that most of those folks are here for the to speak on the East Side Extension. Just as a reminder, I wanted to point out we have also created a meeting, a town hall type meeting, and that will be April 30th, 2026 at 6 p.m. That'll take place at Ann Parish Elementary. That's 112 Meadow Lake Road, Los Lunas, New Mexico. And what you can all expect at that meeting is a study overview and process, preliminary alternatives, and most definitely opportunity for public feedback. If you are here speaking in reference to that tonight, we don't discourage you from speaking to that this evening, but I have provided handouts regarding that particular meeting at the podium here. If we run out, just let me know. We can get some more made in the meantime. But just so y'all know, that meeting has been created, and it will be taking place here shortly on April 30th at Ann Parish Elementary. So,
Thank you. Okay, we're going to move on to our public comment. Before we do that, I'm going to just ask that everybody please silence your phones. We have a lot of people here that are going to want to speak this evening, so we don't have those interruptions. And just a few rules that are set forth by the commission. During the public comment, everybody that's wanting to speak will come up and just state their name for the record. You'll be given 3 minutes each to speak. There'll be a timer. There'll be a buzzer that goes off at that point. I just ask that you kindly take your seat or leave if that's what you choose to do. No applause, no outbreaks from the public as somebody is speaking or after they've spoken. Let's try and keep it as orderly as you possibly can, give everybody the opportunity to speak, and that way we can get through this and give everybody the opportunity to be heard. So with that said, we'll go ahead and get started with our public comment. First on the list, we have Maria Leyva Delgado. If you'll state your name for the record, please.
My name is Maria Leyva Delgado. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to voice concerns and request information. This is my second time
Need to unmute the mic there.
Is that good? Okay. So,
Yeah, go ahead and restart. We'll start the clock again for you.
okay, my name is Maria Leiva Delgado. Thank you for allowing me the opportunity to voice concerns and request information. This is my second time addressing you. We have a child, and because of her safety and well-being, we acquire the properties that we own. We, as I'm sure the rest of the community, have sacrificed a lot to have the properties that we own. I'm here today to challenge any decision made based on the number of parcels and structures each of the alternatives list in the Molson Corbin presentation reviewed with you on February 18th. We reached out to Molson and Corbin and requested detailed drawings to further understand the impact to our properties. Molson and Corbin responded on April 6th with the following statement. At this stage, they are conceptual and shown as lines on a map. The width of these lines do not represent actual roadway width, and the curves only reflect approximate geometry based on general design standards. We understand there has been some concern about whether homes may be impacted or if new roadways will be constructed near existing residences. At this early stage, the study team is not able to determine specific property impacts, only estimates. The process is still in its initial phase, and no preferred alternative or roadway design has been selected. Again, this was after the February 18th meeting. They also indicated that it's generally recommended to maximize and improve existing infrastructure before constructing entirely new roads. I would like to request from you, or whoever has this available, the traffic study that indicates that additional roads to existing roads and or improve existing roads are needed to support the future traffic. And I can certainly say that we don't need to wait until April 30th to voice to you and Molson and Corbin to evaluate improvements on existing roads instead of cutting through our community. We are concerned that the deadline mentioned in the February 18th meeting of June 30th, 2026 for design will dictate a poor evaluation of the alternatives that will be stressed on the April 30th meeting by the community. As you are aware, we have come together as a community, and recently a picture for a Watch for Children sign was shared in the Facebook group that we have. And I have a question. How can these safety measures be maintained if a boulevard is built next to our homes? During the February 18th meeting, it was mentioned that this road cutting through our community is needed for safety. Another question that I have for you is it okay to risk the safety of many families in this community for the safety that was referred in that meeting? Thank you.
Thank you. Next, Adrian Delgado.
Good evening. My name is Adrian Delgado. I'm here to also express my opinion regarding some of the communications in regards to this extension of the road. I do have some handouts. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to present these to you or not.
You can give them to our manager and he can get them to us if you
All
want.
right.
Thank you.
Thank you. As you can figure it out, the first person that spoke, that is my wife. We did move to the county in 2018 and decided to move here from Albuquerque for the reasons of being in the rural community, for the safety of starting a new family. And we have definitely enjoyed this move significantly, but now understanding that this might be impacted by some of the decisions done within this commission really brings a lot of feeling to the whole decision here. I will try and keep myself very much professional as I can. And the comments in the study by Molson Corbin regarding the impact to the community, I think is very poorly, it's a very poorly way of illustrating to you guys the real impact. You haven't given the impact by Molson Corbin in terms of just number of parcels and structures. That's basically what I see from their presentation from your last meeting with them and their presentation that is now posted online. These numbers truly don't represent the true impact. I mean, it's only considered the direct impact for those individuals where parcels will be taken or structures will be torn down for whatever reason. But the safety of those other individuals that will remain north and south of that road, as my wife also illustrated. The noise pollution, the property depreciation of those homes. I mean, when we bought these homes, these properties, I'm sure the value will go down significantly once that road gets situated. And also, I've gone through this in past, that once heavy equipment construction happens, the foundation of those remaining homes will be also impacted. I'm sure that hasn't been a full impact study into this as this road continues. We live on a lot of farmland, so the stabilization of the land, the foundations, is not that stable. Once you start adding heavy equipment, it will be impacting. These concerns, I mean, these are the things that I say should be strictly, definitely taken into consideration. The illustrations I gave you was more illustration by one of the committee members, more with AI, of what the true impact would be. And I also presenting an alternative to look at the North Cerro Loop. I believe you guys have also looked at that, but from the quick study that I've done, it impacts only about 7 structures and 79 parcels, and many of those parcels are empty right now. So I would definitely consider if you guys can definitely look into that a little bit further or provide more feedback on it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next, Tom Perez.
That's Nick Perez, Chairman. Commissioners, how's everybody tonight?
Good.
Well, I could talk about roads all night long around here, but I'm not. You have an MOU tonight about the community gardens in Meadow Lake and El Cerro. Transfer them to VCAN. I think that would be a very positive thing for both communities. I've been involved in basically with the gardens since they started. I got the Men's Academy to put the fence around the one in El Cerro. Took us 4 Saturdays, get that up. The first year, maybe 2 years, they were actually community gardens. After that, they'd never been community gardens. VCAN is doing a lot in this county to improve things. I was the former vice chair, helped form VCAN, get it started. They're very positive, get a lot of positive things going. On first Saturday of the month, they do food distribution in Meadow Lake. The third Saturday, they do one in El Cerro. And I think with the gardens going, any overflow from the gardens could go out to the public that way. Because in the past, the seniors at Meadow Lake Center, one time 10, maybe 11 seniors got like 10-pound bag of vegetables. That was it. They said they produced 2,400 pounds of food. And, you know, we saw 100 pounds, 120 pounds maybe. So I think by transferring it, you're going to do a very positive thing. I know they're going to do a good job, and these gardens will blossom. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next, Aroda Silva, is that the correct pronunciation?
Fonda Silva.
Okay, sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Okay, let me,
You just state your name for the record, please.
okay, so I'm going to start now. I want to start by saying I am very sad of this road proposal. All of them don't work in this area. This is our homes. I know you are hearing the same story over and over again. Well, you're going to hear it again. It's because we have the same concerns. It will totally change this beautiful area, one of the nicest area in Valencia, Las Lunas. This is why we love it here. The noise would be intense and the pollution. Now it is a very peaceful place. I love the smell of fresh air, not car pollution. People want this place to stay rural. It's a wonderful place for peace and quiet. That is why they live here. They can ride their horses, they can ride their bikes, they can walk around and enjoy the very rural area. Children can play and people can just enjoy. If they go above road, you will have homeless people living under the bridge, drugs and graffiti. I know this because we have traveled all over the United States. It is a very sad sight to see. I also see it in Albuquerque. The underpasses are where the homeless go and live. My beautiful trees are finally growing, plus my dogs that have died are buried in my property. I can understand why people would like to live up in that hill. It's because it's cheaper than Albuquerque and Rio Ranchos, but we do not want a city. I love hearing horses, cattle, goats, and the frogs in the drainage ditch, ducks and cranes, even dogs barking, but not cars. We don't want a city. If we did, we would move to Albuquerque or Rio Ranchos. When they started this very large project, there was a lot of large semi-dirt trucks back and forth through 47. Highway 47 is a mess, cracked, and holes both lanes. I even had my windshield busted several times. I asked the committees to please reconsider this road proposal and do not do this. Please put yourself in our shoes. We don't want this. You don't want it in your neighborhood. When you started building all these homes, have you considered regarding the water situation in New Mexico? When I look at the Tomé Hill with the 3 crosses, I feel a sense of spiritual peace. This is God's land, and we need to protect it. I may not have the land as Yellowstone Dutton Ranch, the movie, but this is my piece of heaven. I never thought this would ever be considered to destroy our livelihood. This is only a small concern that I have. Thank you for listening to me. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, David Neff.
Good evening, everyone. David Neff, and I'm talking about the road as well. One of the proposals goes right through my neighborhood. And you say 4 lanes. I've seen an artist rendition of what they think it will look like. Okay, now you've got the median, the 4 lanes, then frontage roads. You just made an 8-lane highway. And you also have the shoulder, X amount of feet from the edge of the slabs. And then you got people's houses. One person showed us, it's gonna go right through my living room. And I was like, I live just over that way. This whole swath of neighborhood's gonna get wiped out. There'll be nothing left. Like she was saying, equestrian, kids. The peace and quiet. It's why we moved there. We like the idea of being in the middle of nowhere where you can actually, I can hear the sirens up on the mesa because they're not around here. We also have another issue with people that like to hot rod in a 25 zone. I mean, I've already seen a couple of wrecks. One neighbor lost their fence because some guy was doing donuts in the middle of Verona. There's another guy that was at a rental. He was doing 90 miles an hour in that 25 zone. Eventually, he finally found a pole over at Los Cerritos and Fire Station. How do I know it was him? There's pieces of Chrysler 300 all over the place. And in my neighborhood, there's a lot of people who like to walk with their kids, ride their horses, and do all kinds of other neat things that don't cause noise. And I know I got a lot of neighbors. So we had almost 200 of them show up last Wednesday at a meeting. And they're all dead set on trying to make sure this thing stops because Morris is a 2-lane road. Okay, you're gonna make a 4-lane bridge. You got 263 that 25 years ago it was slated that they were gonna improve 263 to get up to the mesa so that we don't have it cutting right down the middle of the neighborhood or even through the farmland along Tomé Hill. So I'm very much against it. Yeah, a lot of people I know are very much against it. Yeah, we don't want it. Whoever's owns the development up there that's probably gonna go in, they could bring it in on Manzano. There's a lot of economic benefit to the reservation, funneling traffic to their casino, fuel stations, development, all that good stuff. So reconsider, if you will, because none of the options are acceptable to me or any of the neighbors. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next, Sean Smith. Sharon, sorry. Hard to sign the paper when it's up there the way it is, so it makes it difficult for us to read, so I apologize for that.
Sorry. Sharon Smith. I am here to talk about a road that enters into our community that someone out of the clear blue has decided it should be Ricardo Avenue, not Ricardo Road. I've lived there 25 years. It has been Ricardo Road for the last 25 plus years. and we cannot understand why you did not contact the community. This has caused so much friction. We now have mail coming for Ricardo Avenue and Ricardo Road, and we still don't know what even brought this about. No talking to your community is a bad start. You need to talk to the neighbors. We had it fine. There was no issue. But because one brand new house was built, suddenly everybody's up in the air about what we're going to have. Then you put a brand new sign up on the end of that road, brand new, and it doesn't say Avenue, it says Ricardo Road again. Can't we just leave it Ricardo Road, please? Thank you.
Okay, next, Dale Sonnenberg.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for giving me a chance to speak. My name is Dale Sonnenberg, and I am asking this committee if the next time they renew the contract for the senior citizens, I go to the Senior Citizen Hall in Belen, New Mexico, and it's a government agency that's sponsored and it's funded by the government. And out of all the government agencies that I'm aware of, that is the only one that for the people that you're helping with the government funding, that you ask for donations. You don't ask for donations on any other entity. The state just passed free child care for everybody. When the government shutdown was going down, they found money for everything just like that. Why can't they find money for the seniors? We've been paying taxes our whole life, and now you're asking us to pay for something that should be free to us. And it is free, but we shouldn't have to see donation signs to just keep begging us for donations. I've asked every entity, state, county, federal, everybody says they got plenty of money, but then why are we the only ones singled out? And that's being harassed. I feel that we're being asked to fund our own program that should be. And anyway, in my opinion, I think the county manager is a terrible person. He went out of his way to personally call me and said that those signs will stay up and remain up just to rub it in my face. I know the contract states that, but where they were putting it, everybody was seeing it on a daily basis. That's just like someone asking you every day the same question: donate, donate, donate. If we don't have to, you've asked us once, okay, it's done. But he made it a point to call me and rub it in my face that it's going back up. And I'm asking you guys, when you renegotiate this contract, that verbiage be taken out, because that's harassment. Because we're the only one that is being asked to fund our own program through donations. And also, I think it's pretty petty that the manager has to go out of his way to personally call people over something like that, to have the sign that it's gonna be put up just to rub it in someone's face, instead of, we need to maybe worry about, because on his watch, the county lost $2.6 million for that hospital that's going up. You know, that's what he needs to be worried about. And also, I'd like to also bring up, he's an appointed position by the county commissioners. That man is a reflection of you all. And if he can't handle the job by losing money and harassing elderly people, I don't know, I think there should be a time for a change.
Thank you.
That's what I think. And thank you for giving me, and I would like to thank the county manager, county commissioners that were helping me with this program. Thank you a lot for your help, and thank you for your time.
Okay, next, Barbara Lewis.
Good evening. My name is Barbara Lewis. Commissioner Seiss and other commissioners, thank you for hearing us tonight. I'm here with all of my neighbors in opposition of the East Side alignment routes that you voted on at your February 18th meeting. I live on Blumenshine Road. I've lived in that community for 38 years. I chose it for the safety of my children, for the pleasure of living in a quiet, peaceful location, and we'd really like to ask that you consider other alternatives. I know at your February 4th meeting, I believe it was, you passed a resolution in support of funding that the Isleta Pueblo was looking for highway funding, and I would encourage you to consider looking at the Manzano Expressway, as another gentleman previously mentioned, as an alternative for folks to get from the Mesa to the interstate to Albuquerque or wherever they might be going. I think it also gives a lot of economic advantage to the Pueblo, and so that's something you should consider. The other thing you should consider is that both North El Cerro Loop and South El Cerro Loop, I believe, have enough easement right now where you could maybe widen those roads to get the intended benefit of trying to get traffic up to the Mesa. I also believe, having lived in this county for 38 years and somebody that works in Albuquerque, I probably won't take Las Lunas Boulevard. I will probably continue to drive through BOCC Farms and Peralta and come home that way, and I think a lot of other people will as well. So when you think about the traffic flow, I wonder if you've over considered how many people are going to be moving through these fairways where we already have infrastructure in place that can be used and be less costly to all of us that are hardworking taxpayers to this county. And so we look forward on April 30th to expressing additional comments about this, but we would really like you to consider different alternatives. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next, Sam Adams.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. My name is Sam Adams. I've lived in the Ponderosa Farms neighborhood. I'm going to try not to get emotional here. Off of Otero Road for nearly 24 years. Like many of my neighbors, I chose this community specifically for its semi-rural character. For the past 2 decades, I've commuted daily to Albuquerque. I understand the need for infrastructure to support our commuters. However, I cannot support a major highway that severs our quiet neighborhood. The reason I choose to commute rather than live in the city is the peace and safety I find when I get home. This highway would fundamentally change the communities between the North and South El Cerro loops. Current reports count the parcels and the structures affected, but those figures do not capture the true cost. The loss of a place where it's safe to walk a dog, where kids can ride their bikes, where they can walk to the bus stop, and where neighbors can still ride horses on the ditch bank. After reviewing the February 18th meeting, I have a few points of clarification. It was mentioned that while phase 1 is a limited access arterial, the second phase might not carry the same designation. Yet the full build images still appear to show limited access. This raises a critical question regarding Valencia County Code, Chapter 154.105. Our RR1 and RR2 and agricultural zones require a 30-foot setback from the front and 15 feet on the sides. Was this legal requirement factored into the count of the impacted houses? Furthermore, if a full property is taken for the cut-through, would that land potentially be rezoned for commercial use? That would only further erode the neighborhood that we are trying to protect. Finally, I'm concerned about transparency. Moles and Corbin stated that the feasibility study won't be finished until the end of 2027. If the facts are still being gathered, why have preferred routes already been selected? I'm simply asking the county to fulfill its legal obligations under NEPA to fully and fairly evaluate the existing infrastructure improvements and the no-build alternatives before a single home is taken. I also have a list of questions I probably won't be able to get through that I would like to submit to you, including if a property is left in violation of the 30-foot setback due to land seizure, how will the county indemnify the homeowners for the resulting loss in property value and the creation of a non-conforming use? Does the specific road designation, arterial versus limited access, provide the county a legal exemption from the residential setback requirements found in the county code? Has the county conducted a study on the permanent loss of property tax revenue from the destroyed parcels versus the potential revenue or lack thereof? I'd like to submit these.
Thank you. Next, we have Burl Lewis.
My name is Burl Lewis. Thank you all for your time. I just kind of want to reiterate some of the things that have already been spoken, but one of the things I want to address is that one of the ideas that kind of kicked off this phase 3, if you will, discussion was about a pinch point at 47. And even if we go through with any of the options that go right through the middle of our community, there's going to be a pinch point. There's going to be a pinch point at the backside of that on the east side of El Cerro or at Manzano Express. There's also, no matter when you get to 47, there's going to be a red light there anyway. So some of my thoughts were that if we can't utilize the Manzano Expressway going to the I-25 Expressway, which I actually agree is the right solution, then maybe we use some of that money to improve the road. 47 needs to be improved. South El Cerro Loop, that intersection needs to be improved so that it can accept flow through that area a little bit better. Once they make that turn on 47 going to the South El Cerro Loop, that area could be improved and made so the volume of traffic can flow better. I also question how much traffic's actually going to utilize that boulevard coming down through there. So just a lot of concerns about how it got started, the phase 3 discussion got started. Was there really a lot of thought put into it? And hopefully the studies that you guys have done will prove that there's got to be a better way to route traffic through that area. I've been in that community, as my wife said, for 38 years, and I know that because our anniversary was the year before that, so I've got that down. But I appreciate you guys' time, and I really do appreciate you reconsidering the options that are on the table right now.
Thank you. Okay, next, Edgar Nunn.
Good afternoon. I live south of Belen, a mile and a half. The reason I'm up here is I'm really frustrated with dust. It's causing me to choke at night. I wake up asphyxiated. I cannot breathe. There's so much dust. There's dust in the air wherever I'm at. I've filed a complaint. Where should I hand this? Do you have a secretary here? I got information here. Filed a complaint with the Congressman Gabe. I've asked the EPA to look into this. I've written a letter to our governor, Michelle. I'm going to contact my senator tomorrow. I also brought pictures. This is where I live. I live south of town.
Sir?
On the right side.
I ask you to direct your questions and comments to the commission and not to the public. Thank you.
This is where I live. On this side where it's green is my property. On the other side is my neighbors are disking. They disc 2 or 3 times a month. I'm going to hand these pictures to you. There's no food for these goats to eat. They're out there in this dirt field. This field's been this way for 10 years. Everybody wants to know, the EPA, the Environmental Protection Agency, says if the dust from your property blows for 1 minute onto somebody else's property, that person has the right to sue you. And I plan to do that to all my neighbors. I'm serious. I got a picture of my neighbor who's in violation. I'm really upset about this. Many of my neighbors have their kids playing in this dust. The dust has what's called biomass, bacterial biomass. It's 100 times higher bacterial biomass is in the soil than that's recommended. And that is important to people who have puppies, small animals, calves, lambs. The dust is no good for anybody. It also has a thing called silicosis. It's very bad to breathe. Plowing your land destroys that land. There's all type of scientific proof that says that. There's study after study. Those papers I handed to you verifies it. There's 3 copies there that explains the practice of maintaining a good soil health. And with that, I'm going to pass these pictures. All this information is yours. The last thing I have to say is that my neighbors are plowing along the right-of-way, and I don't think that I worked on roads. I know a lot about roads. I've helped build roads for many years. On one side is my neighbor where he plows on the side of the road. On the other side, right across the street the same day, is where my neighbor cuts the grass. All you have to do is cut the grass.
Thank you, sir.
And these are yours.
Okay, next, Michelle Shiplett. Michelle, yeah, there you go.
My name is Michelle Shipley. I live on Ricardo Road. I've lived on Ricardo Road for 27 years. The road says Ricardo Road. My deeds say Ricardo Road. My mailbox says Ricardo Road. When couple months ago, they were changing that little cutoff from Ricardo Road to Ricardo Avenue, and they made a mistake, and they have admitted this, planning and zoning. They made a mistake and made us Ricardo Avenue and Ricardo Avenue. We didn't find out until somebody's got a letter from a bank that said that her road was no longer any good. So it took 3 weeks before Mr. Rick BOCC said that, yes, he made a mistake. Somebody in his office made a mistake, but they don't know how to fix it. They will eventually get it fixed. They don't know when. They might send letters out to the people on our road that say, do you still want to be a road? Or alternative, do you want to be a road with having an alternative of being an avenue? He's also saying that he needs legal assistance to do this, and he has to create new protocols to get it fixed. But basically, they made a mistake. They don't know what they did, and they don't know how to fix it. So in the meantime, we don't know if 9/11 will come to us. We don't know if the police will come to us, because their map says avenue, everything else says deed. This brings me to my other point. Who is oversight in this county? This is the second issue we've had with planning and zoning as a group, as a neighborhood. He answers to nobody. I don't know who answers to who. Does anybody, y'all have so many little teeny different departments. Everybody's their own department to get elected. Obviously, they probably know what they're doing. But nobody is oversight to any of these people. So with Rick BOCC, I couldn't tell somebody for 2 or 3 weeks, oh, don't worry about it, it's none of your business, it'll be avenue. Just leave it alone, don't touch it. And then he finally decides to admit he made a mistake. But who does he answer to? Anybody. We know if he was elected, he was not elected as a knowing person, like our assessor and our treasurer. They were not elected because they know accounting. They were elected because they know people who voted for them, which is why you guys were elected. Because supposedly people know you, people trust you, people want you. Who are you accountable? Is Mr. Erdogan accountable to these people? Who is? It's really strange when you look at your county and you look at your mistakes and you go, 2 billion county taxes. There's nobody answers for that. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Next, we have Stan Jordan.
Thank you, gentlemen. Let me speak. Stan Jordan, I live in Ponderosa Farms. My backyard is on Hotel Road, and your plan would take 2/3 of my backyard. Basically, from here to that picture, from my back porch would be the edge of the road. Maybe a little bit further, but not by much. I survived rocket mortar sniper fire in Vietnam. I was an air traffic controller for 32 years, 15 years in Atlanta, working the busiest traffic in the world. I went to Afghanistan for a year and a half and developed their airspace there and the procedures. Again, bunker dives and mortar attacks. Then I went to Baghdad for 5 months, same thing. But the stress that you caused me doesn't compare to what I've been through the rest of my life. I'd like to see a show of hands in this audience of who has caused stress by this.
Sir, your comments need to be directed to us, and I've asked that does not continue.
Ask the commissioners how many live on the east side and are affected.
But I'm going to fight you as hard as I can. You're not going to take my backyard because you will destroy that piece of property. And I just want to thank everybody else that spoke up here tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your service. Next, we have Annette Castillo.
Good evening, Chair and Commissioners. Yes, it's been a stressful couple of weeks. I couldn't believe this when my son first told me. I didn't believe him. I live right off of Arona on Blackberry Lane. And we again moved out here in 2012, knowing that we are landlocked in our backfield and it's a peaceful rural area, much like the Rio Grande community in Albuquerque. And we invested our life. This is the home that I want to die in. I've always told my children that. I have my older children coming to ride their bikes, walk my grandchildren from Peralta here in our community. That's how safe it is. And it's a generational mistake that you are going to, well, hopefully not make, but from what I see, that MC is trying to make you make a decision before June 30th. And I don't understand the timeline, and the people listen to the meetings, you know, the infrastructure meeting back in 2025 and then the one on the 18th, and it really seems like it's getting pushed too hard. But then when we talk to MC, they say, no, it's a long-term vision. But then we have funding and Mr. Silva saying, no, you need to pick these plans. And then we have Mr. Wyatt, who works for MC, saying, you need to take all 12 to the community before you pick, or else you're gonna overstep. The next meeting, guess what? They're pushing to pick without the community's involvement. I feel like we're getting railroaded a little bit. And it doesn't feel good at all, because we've poured in our whole lives to, I mean, the #1 commodity that anybody has here on this earth right now is your home. And my husband said to say, there's 2 main highways already. You're gonna cut through the best real estate, which I think in Los Lunas, Valencia County even, to accommodate another community that should have been planned a lot better, should have already had parks, communities, not commercial vehicles and Cottonwood Mall or whatever you guys are deciding to do up there. I don't know the owner who's pushing this so much, the private owner, but I just pray that you guys do not overlook us, who is Valencia, and cater to the private owners and profit. And I just really want transparency on funding and a traffic model for safety. And they're trying to push the straight route. The county is, and Mr. Silva, I think, is speaking upon that because of accidents. There was no accidents off of 47 in 2024, so.
Thank you.
Oh, can I give you some information too?
Hand it to our county manager, that'd be fine. Thank you. Okay, next, Maria Klee says Monica is going to be reading a statement, I believe. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, if you'll just state your name for the record, please.
My name is Monica Honeyfield. Thank you, commissioners, for taking our time. Before I read this statement that was written by a neighbor and a friend, I would like to just again, obviously show our presence here. We've come to the last meeting. We're going to be here today, tomorrow, and every day until we can get our point across. I feel we have such a huge presence to preserve this valley and stop this boulevard. This statement is not from me that I'm going to read next. Good evening, commissioners. This comment is from Maria Klee, representing the communities surrounding Arona and Otero roads. Our community continues to rally together to support the issue, being against the proposed Los Lunas Boulevard extending from Highway 47 to the Manzano Expressway through our community. This extension being approved by the commission, all 5 of you, with no respect for the damage, destruction, pollution, crime, or noise it will cause to so many of your longtime constituents, all to have a quick point A to point B. This, after listening to the 2018-2026 Commission meeting agenda items on the major structural decision, I was shocked at the lack of questions, concerns voiced by Moles and Corbin. Maybe we need to follow the money and understand why point A and point B is considered the best route. Such decisions regarding the alignment roads with no apparent worry of how it impacts the voters, property owners, is an embarrassment to the job, sorry, I didn't write this, embarrassment to the job that you have been voted in to do. To Commissioner Troy Richardson, our District 2 representative, with all due respect, you made a decision with no effort to represent our needs and or take time to come speak to us, your voters. How do you explain this? Your voters would have never been informed until it was too late, if not for local social media. We sure thank them because we now have our voice and we are not going away. We implore all of you to revisit your decisions thus far and look at what is already available to you for travel into the East Mesa. Your pastures, our alfalfa fields, our horse farms, our properties, our families appear to be easy for you to destroy. I just ask for you and all the commissioners to step in our shoes for a minute and tell us this would be okay for you. We know that several of you have homes, land, farms, and pastures, as well as undeveloped land.
John Malin, is that correct?
Good evening. Yeah, I've lived for almost a half century on Arona Road. It was a dirt road. There was no Berry Hill Farms. It's my nirvana, and you guys are possibly going to ruin my life, and I'm not going to stand for it. Why destroy a peaceful neighborhood, El Cerro, because it lines up with a totally different project? The I-25 interchange project was important to alleviate Main Street traffic. That has nothing to do with Arona and Otero roads. Finish the project underway and see what it looks like at that point. See the traffic situation at that point, and then make some decisions. This is very unsettling.
Thank you. Next, Tiara Hudson.
Hi, good evening. My name is Tiara Hudson. I work for United Way of North Central New Mexico as the Community Outreach and Partnership Manager serving Valencia and Torrance County. I do have some papers that I'd like to share. I'm here today in support of VCAN taking over the community gardens in El Cerro and in Meadow Lake. I've partnered with VCAN over the past 3 years. This partnership has been rooted in trust-based philanthropy, which is a new initiative that United Way has taken over. Trust-based philanthropy really is general operating dollars, it's multi-year funding, and it's really out of a commitment to VCAN and the good work that they're doing here in the county. This is something that we will continue to support, and I just thank you all for your time.
Thank you. Next, Lucas Creasy.
Thank you for letting me speak this evening. I'm relatively new to the area. There's a lot of people here with some really compelling stories. I live right on Arona Road, just bought the place in December. I'm currently attending law school at UNM, so I'm a little new to the law. However, from what I've gathered, notice is a pretty important part of all proceeding. As we can see, people are willing to fight tooth and nail to prevent the extension. I'm going to be one of those people. I'm only in my first year of law school, but with the time that it's going to take for this project to get going, obviously I'll be practicing by the time the roads are being made through our neighborhoods, if that is the choice that we make. I'm just letting you know that I will, stand behind these people, these long-standing residents. It is an amazing neighborhood. I love my neighborhood. I was so glad for that choice, and I felt completely blindsided when I found out about this. I'm gonna request that I get whatever information about this process that you guys have. If you guys don't want to provide that, I can get that further down the road. I can give you guys my contact info if any of you want to have direct conversations. I'm just trying to be transparent with you guys, and I hope that you will be transparent as well. I want to know all parties involved, whoever's, financing or making decisions or influencing decisions. I just, like the people of this community, want to know why this seems to be getting rushed so badly, and why we're willing to put so many peaceful lives at stake. Feels like we're putting the cart ahead of the horse here. There's a lot of roads that are super annoying for me to travel through that could definitely help alleviate some of this congestion you guys are worried about. But you're making big plans instead of taking care of some already lesser infrastructures. Anyways, I just wanted to let you know that I would stand behind these people. I will pursue legal action. I'm not sure what all that's going to entail till I get more information from all of y'all, but I really appreciate you guys allowing us forums to speak on this. I hope that we can change your mind. And if not, I guess we're all in for a long haul together. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Mr. Creasy, if you give your contact information to our county manager, he can get you on that list. Thank you. Okay, next, Kevin Hobbs.
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Kevin Hobbs. Thank you for the opportunity to speak here tonight. I'm here as a concerned resident of Valencia County. I'm urging you to keep Los Lunas Boulevard expansion ending at Highway 47 without further extension eastward. Stick to the original approved plan. Los Lunas Boulevard project, excuse me, I'll get my glasses. Los Lunas Boulevard project was designed and funded as an east-west corridor from I-25 to Highway 47, including the new interchange, river bridge, and intersections. It has already broken ground and is progressing toward a 2029 completion. Extending it further now changes the scope